Now we're playing a little more or less. We always have the snappy music going. It's Buccaneers edition. Solomon, you hear the music?
I hear it.
Are you a fan of that?
Good music, really.
All right, we'll put that on your iPod. You have an iPod, right? I'll play it in the car for you now. The Bucs, they finished 2015 just 6 wins, 6-10. So 2016, as it inches closer, more or less. What do you say, man?
I'm going to give them more.
Okay.
I think they'll play better as a team. I think they'll be settled in. They were very competitive last year. They just got to find a way to finish off wins. I'll give them 8. I'll give them more than 6.
It's funny. They only had 6 W's, top 10 in offense and defense. It didn't yield in the W department. What do you say, more or less, JD?
I'm going with more. Also, I think that number might go north of that, possibly to 9 or possibly 10. If you go back and watch what they did last year for the numbers that you talk about, they just got to learn how to finish games off.
Yeah, they lost 3 games by 1 score or less last season. So there you go. That's 9 games right there they could have won. Jameis Winston, guys, he threw for 4,042 yards last season. That's better than Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Will Jameis Winston throw more or less than that in 2016?
I don't want him to throw more than 100 yards more than that with Dirk Cutter opening the offense up. So I want to say more.
Really?
Because they need to run the football. Can't get too pass happy because that's how that offense works. That's the Super Bowl formulas, run, play, action, so on forth. So I'm going to say more, Solid.
I'm going to go with more. He's smarter. He's more fit. He's a tough guy. He's figured out NFL defenses, and I still think he's growing and learning. But we've seen the floor is 4,000 yards. I think he will exceed year number 2 what he did in year number 1. So I'm going to go more.
He threw a lot of interceptions last season. We took it to the nation for this one. Jameis Winston tied for the 4th most interceptions thrown last season with 15. Will he have more or less than 15 INTs in 2016? The nation, guys, what do you think? 59% saying less.
Yeah.
Mike Evans might help out.
That number comes down. Touchdown passes go up. Interceptions come down.
The maturation process of that young man right there continues. And you say that Tampa Bay, they need to run the ball a little bit more, and they have
I like the balance that they have. They do.
Doug Martin, the Duggernaut, that's his new nickname. He rushed for 1,402. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. So that's what really matters. He had 1,402 yards last year. So that was 2nd in the league. So more or less than 1,400 in 2016. Solomon, I'll begin with you, my friend.
I think it's going to be less. We saw his rookie campaign. He exploded onto the scene.
Good.
And then guess what happens? When he had the huge load, that huge payload, that much production, the body broke down year number 2. This is not a really big back. He's strong for a guy his size. But I think if you don't split the carries up, the wear and tear can catch up with him. I think it's going to be tough for him to bounce back and put up even more than the 1,400 we saw 1 year ago.
And that breakaway speed just not there for Doug Martin. We've seen him get run down. He's trying to make a few long runs.
1,400 yards is 1,400 yards. I'm going to go with.
That's also a good point.
I'm going to go with more as well. Not many more, but again, and the reason I say that because it goes back to consistency.
Yeah.
Championship formula is play action, run the football. That's why they were successful. Play action with Jameis Winston. I think they have to do more of same.
The Bucs, their defense was ranked 10th overall. They recorded 38 sacks, more or less than 38 sacks in 2016. I'll start with my defensive guy.
I'm going to go with more. I think this defense, remember, we talked about Brent Grimes, coming over in free agency at the cornerback position. They used the 1st-round pick on another corner, Vernon Hargreaves. Now that buys that pass rush a little bit more time to get to the quarterback. Gerald McCoy, Levante David on the front end, Clinton McDonald as well. Noah Spence is a 1st-round pick at the defensive end position. They have assets now to get after the quarterback more so than they did 1 year ago. And certainly corners who can force the quarterback to hold on to the football just for a beat. I think that number goes north.
I'm not convinced about that just yet. I've got to see it a little bit more for this season. I like the things that they've done, obviously, but I'm going to go with less still. And I think it might be close to that number. But right now, I mean, there's a maturity. The Spence kids you talk about, like him, but, you have to learn. You go back to what happened with the Atlanta Falcons. They drafted the kid from Clemson. And so he only got 4.5 sacks, whether he was hurt or not. Learning the defensive end or outside rushing position in the National Football League takes a little bit longer. So I'm not sure how much of an impact he's going to have.
All right. That is our Camp Countdown series on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.